Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend. I can tell you, at least with us, sales-wise, with the weekend just wasn't good at all. It's my second consecutive bad weekend. So Saturday night, I made some changes to what I was trying to do this year, and that was what I did at the beginning of the year. I took everything from the other store and I moved it into the main store. So that created a bigger store and a lot of the lower sell through stuff that I was, kind of on the fence about. Threw much of it in a tub in the garage for the next garage sale, whatever that's going to be. So I had this stuff in my store and increased the size of my store from like 250 to like 370. So it wasn't a huge number. It's like 120 items, but I've been struggling ever since the beginning of the year. I think I had one or two good days. I don't think I've even crossed the $500 mark on any day this year. We're only 22 days in. So Saturday night after let me just go here real quick. Saturday night after a abysmal Friday, and this computer is now locking up, so hopefully it doesn't screw anything up here with the broadcast. But it was a horrible. Okay, we're good. We're back. It was a horrible 2 days. Friday was, we're talking like 163. Saturday was $33, guys. And it was Saturday evening that I said to myself, okay, this is the second Saturday in a row where I was under. Actually, looking at the Saturdays, the second Saturday where I was under $100. Okay, so something's not working. So I decided, why fix something that was not broken last year? So we did this. We took all the items out that had low ASP, low sell through. We kept a few of the low ASP things because they're more like loss leaders. They have decent sell through for me. Those neoprene gun butt cartridge holders. You can put little your ammunition in the butt of your weapon or whatever. I don't know anything about it, but I know that they sell for like $10 free shipping. I have that, and I have some other items that are multi-quantity listings that I've kept on my main account. Other than that, I pulled all the crap items, and then wouldn't you know it, Sunday had a rebound, at least 371, which is better than what I was doing the entire weekend. Okay, so got that going on. So I have all these items in my ended. I decided, you know what? I could either throw them in the bin or I can just reopen the other crap store. I still have the Ink Frog account. I moved them all over, and I have the second store now open that I had closed. So going back to what worked, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. And I'm doing a lot more cross posting, have more Amazon FBM listings now than I did at all really last year. I didn't really use it a whole lot, kind of off and on. So I'm trying to get more involved there. And of course, you guys know we already do cross posting to Mercari and Poshmark, at least for now. So what I want to talk to you guys about, enough about me, because I'm sure that's kind of a moot point. You guys won't tune in to hear how I'm doing. As far as the topic on hand, and I think this is really good news, and that is USPS rate changes went into effect yesterday, but they also implemented cubic rates on eBay. And most of us know that pirate ship has had cubic rates for the longest time, but eBay now is giving us the ability to run our labels utilizing those rates. Now, I'm going to show you a little cutaway screen here so we can kind of go over what that is, and to help everyone kind of understand at least a little bit what cubic rate means for you. But really, kudos to USPS for, I think this is kind of the second change that they've made that I think is a positive one, because cubic rates, depending on the size and the type of box that you're shipping, is going to be a game changer for a lot of you people. So let me get this queued up here. and I will show you. I don't do this a whole lot. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. So the first screen I want to show you, this thing cooperates, is this put out by the Seller News Team, 2024 USPS rate changes. USPS has announced rate changes that will go into effect on January 21st, 2024. Here are the changes on eBay labels. Priority mail, most rates are decreasing with savings up to $4.54 for packages up to 20 pounds, depending on the package weight and zone. Now, that has a lot to do with the cubic rates. We'll get to that in a second. Priority mail flat rate postage will increase between 37 cents and 56 cents per shipment. Ground Advantage packages under 1 pound will increase an average of 5.4%. I've already seen the increases when I ran my labels for the smaller packages today. So it certainly is kicked in. Packages over 1 pound remain mostly unchanged. They say mostly unchanged because you can get Ground Advantage cubic rate, and that will help as well. Media mail postage will increase up to 21 cents per shipment. eBay standard envelope is increasing 1 cent across all 3 weights. So that's kind of neither here nor there. And like it says here, great news, cubic services are now available for USPS Ground Advantage and Priority Mail effective January 21st, 2024, whereas it was exclusive to Pirate Ship before. Now, the other thing I want to show you, I'll do that right now, is USPS cubic pricing. Now, what is USPS cubic pricing? USPS cubic pricing provides high volume shipping customers with discounted rates for small, heavy packages. So we're talking small and heavy, not large and light, small and heavy. Priority mail packages measuring less than 20 pounds in weight and 0.5 cubic feet in volume with no dimension larger than 18 inches, so can't be larger than 18 inches on any side, are eligible for cubic pricing as long as you meet the minimum package requirements. For these packages, customers will pay shipping costs, the actual size of the package, and the shipping distance, so distance is involved here, instead of its weight. So it's not looking at weight as the primary factor, it's looking at the size of the package. To qualify for cubic pricing, customers must ship over 50,000 packages a year. Now that was that's probably why Pirate Ship got it, but now this is open to everyone. How does cubic pricing work? The cubic pricing for your USPS package is measured by calculating the length times the width times the height, all the sides, 17 divided by 1728, and that equals your cubic feet. Now, I don't expect anyone to remember that. Good thing that eBay does all that work for you when calculating your label. All measurements should be rounded down to nearest 0.25 inch, and it tells you the different tiers. And this is all with stamps.com, but I thought it gave a pretty good explanation. As an example, an 8-inch length by 6-inch height by 8-inch width, tier 3, going to going to this tier 3, I guess, zone 3. Weighing 8 pounds and being shipped to zone 6. Okay, so I guess that's tier 3 here.
Tier 3,
6
zone
would
6.
be 21.53 using Priority Mail commercial base rates. The same package would only cost only $13.48 with cubic shipping. So you save 37%. Now, these are the retail rates, I believe, that's accessible to stamps.com. This is where I pulled this information. So that's hopefully some helpful information. Ultimately, the thing that I noticed that is kind of off is when you're looking at your label screen, and I don't have a screen to show you, but it doesn't tell you that you're getting a cubic rate. It just tells you Priority Mail or Ground Advantage. And in many cases, this is why you got to be very careful. In many cases, you have to look to see, because Priority Mail can, with that cubic rate, be cheaper than your Ground Advantage rate. And so be very careful. Don't be on autopilot. Be mindful of the best deal and price. And I have another thing that I do too with when I'm listing an item. I'm probably going to do a video on that really works well, so that you're priced with the correct, especially when you're doing calculated, you have the correct pricing with your shipping. And I'll be doing a video on that to kind of show you what I mean. But kudos to USPS. They started this. I think they were a pain point for a lot of sellers. USPS with their pricing, always jacking up rates. We had to deal with first class mail up to 16 ounces, 1 pound. And anything over than that, you had to use priority mail. And it was just kind of messy. Now with Ground Advantage, it works great. I haven't heard one complaint with people who buy Ground Advantage. I use Ground Advantage every day, and it's saving me money, even sometimes over my FedEx rates for larger packages. I'm finding myself using Ground Advantage a little bit more. So something to keep in mind on that. Let's see. Guy Guru says, "Well, hey, what's up, Flippin' Fam? Been a while watching a live." Well,
I know we were wondering where you were.
Yeah.
Where you been?
Yeah. Good to know. But thank you for being here. Appreciate that, and thank you for the super chat. Jerry Johnson's with us as well. First one here. Hi, John and Jenna and FAE family. We have Mike Camparelli says, "Hi, everyone. I've been in Florida for the TTC meetup all week. Very fun event. Now I'm ready to go home and make some sales. Hitting the like button now." Awesome. And I did see you on Kerry's video. He put a video out yesterday, and I saw you in the back seat. You guys are going to different yard sales, so I had to watch for that reason. So Vernon Box says, "Welcome. Thanks for being here." Gail Carlson says, "Hello, John and Jen and Flippin' family." Thank you for being here, Gail. And then Archie Biscuit Butt says, "Hey, FAE gang." Urethra is here, says, "John, Jenna, chat. Hope you're all having a blessed Monday. Hit my like early because Mama needs a big sale."
So do we.
And today's not so hot. I woke up this morning with a $166 sale just to have 5 minutes later a cancellation request. And the request said found a better price. Isn't that great? So someone's listing that they hijacked my checkout screen with someone that promoted their same item. It got the customer to cancel. That's just so messy. I wish eBay wouldn't do that, honestly. And I'm sure I've benefited from it too, but I just don't think it's a good practice. It causes customer confusion. Now the customer's reaching out to the seller, waiting for the seller to confirm or reject the cancellation request. If they reject the cancellation request, now they're dealing with a whole different can of worms that's just going to cause the customer to be upset. I just don't like it. Biscuit Butt says, "What's up, Mike?" And then we have Gail Carlson says, "USPS, more money, more money." Yeah, they are going to jack up rates. I mean, with the cost of living, inflation, and all that stuff, it's going to be a practice that we see just forever, right? Just the way life is. There's always going to be some kind of an increase. And USPS really didn't do that a whole lot last year, so they're pretty much due for an increase in rates. Vernon Box, does anyone know a good drop shipper? No, I don't. We don't really do drop shipping on this. I mean, a lot of the same concepts when you're listing on eBay, whether or not you have the product, still apply. But no, I don't know a whole lot of drop shippers. Urethra Franklin says, "Hey, Archie, how those biscuits of yours doing today?" Ferret Fan says, "USPS rate changes seem to be attempting to phase out free priority boxes to a greater degree." Yeah, they got to pay for those extra boxes and all that. But I think that the rate changes really were sort of overdue. I hate to say that. I mean, I'd like to see a world where we never have to deal with rate increases, but it was something that I had expected last year, and they didn't do it. Jovial says, "Heidi ho, FAE fam, happy National Hot Sauce Day." I put that on everything.
I put that on everything too.
Interesting. Well, I'm having some homemade vegetable beef stew leftovers with grilled cheese sandwiches tonight. So there's no hot sauce involved in that. Gail Carlson. Well, I ain't having any. Gail Carlson says, "You can still get the boxes, just pay more to ship." Yeah. Urethra Franklin says, "Oh, I love me some hot sauce, honey, on everything." Yes, ma'am. Sometimes my stomach doesn't like it. It depends on how I'm feeling. Duncan says, "I'm rushing a big pile of orders, getting them packed, and will race up to post them all. Then come back to list more items. It's a never-ending cycle. How sales you too scared to hit the like?" I hit the like.
I wish we were too scared to hit the like.
Yeah. We need the like button times 10 right now.
Yeah, so, times 100.
Done a lot of sourcing, getting a lot of stuff that I need to go pick up. Probably about $400 or $500 worth of stuff. That's my cost that. And I'm sure that I'll make Tommy proud that I have probably a carload of shoes. These are all customer returns, and I think I got a good deal on them. That's for the other store, since that store is now open again. And the refreshing thing about that is there's going to be times where I'm going to be a little light on the good stuff. So the good stuff's going in my main account. So I'm going to have the questionable stuff. Now, I want to be doing something. I want to do some listing. I don't want to sit back and wait for the product. But it's still going to allow me to list other stuff on that other account with mixed results probably. But I think with more involvement in that store, as long as I keep the focus on the main store to where I can try to keep the sales similar to last year, and let's hope that I can do that, then running the secondary store shouldn't be that big of a problem.
We just need February to come back. I don't know what it is about January of the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, Josh has this theory, and he keeps telling me that I am, because when I'm running my numbers, it's saying that I'm like 65% year over year from this January to last January, just comparing apples to apples, January to January. And he's saying that I'm capped at 65%. So that's why it's not giving me any more sales. And that kind of makes me question, well, what's going to happen in February when my sales just went nuts? So that means that it's going to open me up for more action. I mean, I hope that's a thing, but I have my doubts that it is.
Well, I just don't believe any of these.
No, it's a good theory. It's a nice theory. It's a
everything is a theory with eBay, and that's the sad truth, is that there is no real numbers, there's no real statistics, there's no real anything.
No. And so what are you to do? And
you just have to keep going.
And I've been down. I feel like this whole week I felt really down, just down on myself, down on the store, down on the business, down on this, down on that. And we're talking down because it's not a day or two. I mean, Saturday, I was just kind of numb to it, to be honest with you. But it's just this month, the start of the year.
Yeah, we got slapped around the beginning of the year, and it's just not a good place to be in mentally.
Yeah. And so when I look at eBay and reselling as a game, sort of the mentality that I have, it's a challenge. It's a game. So whenever I play a game, I try to play to win. And when I'm not doing so well, it brings me down. This is the way I am, the way I'm wired. Duncan says, I also packed more orders last night. No rest.
Wow, you're killing it, Doc.
Work hard. You're going to get results. Daniel Lestage from Baton Rouge says, hey, live group. Hope all is good and well with all of you. All the best for you and your business from Baton Rouge. Well, thank you. Hopefully you're doing better. I know we've been talking by email, and hopefully things are starting to turn around.
Good news, guys. I'm getting a new washer.
Yeah.
That's, sometimes we gotta celebrate the little wins.
Grandma Mary's Attic says, hi, John, Jenna, and chat. Love y'all from Texas.
Aww.
My first time catching the live. Well, thanks for being here.
Where are you in Texas? I'm about to make a trip out there next week.
Jovial says, it's also Blonde Brownie Day. Anyone ever put hot sauce on a brownie? That's asking for trouble there. And then Jovial likes a crispy bacon on top of a brownie. Must be hungry, I think. Better go get a snack. Yeah, I think so. Quit making up food days. Todd says, hello to everyone in the world. Renowned Flippin' Ain't Easy chat. Yes, this is the best chat on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. Joe Samard says, I'm here. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
You must be here on the West Coast, or at least in the...
He's in California.
Okay. Lawrence says, Detroit Lions going to San Francisco, then Vegas to get spare room ready, John. I got to tell you that I wasn't impressed with San Francisco this week against Green Bay. I know Green Bay's been playing better, but I think you might have something there with Detroit. So Kelly Deb says... hello, Josh, Jenna, and fellow resellers. Where's John in this equation? Okay. I hope sales have picked up. Mine are sluggish.
This is Josh.
Well, I'd say hello, but you didn't address me, so I'll let Jenna say hello.
Hi.
Okay. Gail says, welcome, Grandma. And Urethra says, I don't know a reseller with a spare room.
That is a fact.
Yeah,
I don't know one reseller with a spare room.
Yeah, anyone that wants to sleep here is going to be sleeping on the shipping table.
shipping table or the couch.
Yeah, they've been using the paper machine or the paper tape machine as a pillow.
No, nobody's allowed to touch my tape machine.
Jenna's giving us good hair again, says Urethra.
You know, I'm playing around with that new tool I got me.
Check this out. Bearded PokeTuber hit the like button and sold a $100 Rolex hat.
Wow,
awesome.
Nice. See, it works.
Now, I assume that they're not going to make you send that into authentication. You know, they make you send the watches in.
Yeah.
I probably don't think that's going to happen. Callie Deb says, hi, John. Whoops, I called you Josh. Hi, Josh. Well, hello. Thanks for being here. Archie says, hey, Urethra biscuits are stale today.
Ew.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Nasty.
They're a little flaky.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Kate says, hello, Jenna, John, and FA fam. Pressing that like button for my sale.
Yes.
And we have Ping G in the house.
Hi,
Ping. In the
Ping.
chat. And Lissa's with us. Hi, gorgeous Jenna and John.
Hello, hello.
Time to moisturize Archie. And we got Richard. Spill Ford Pinto says, hello, everyone. John and Jenna.
Hello, hello.
Callie Deb says, sluggish sales. And Marcus says, I'm in the house. Thanks, John and Jenna, for another live. Hope you get the house back together after the flood. It's going to happen. I mean, tomorrow we get the washer. And the washer, we get the guy coming tomorrow to fix the carpeting. And the baseboards, when's that? Did they say?
They're like kind of like back to back. So they have to do things in certain orders. I don't know anymore. I don't really care. I just want my washing machine so that I can do freaking laundry.
Yeah.
I am so sick of looking at just clothes.
Well, the guy came in and fixed, sort of did just a quick fix of the thing. And he said, well, the part I really need is on back order and they don't know when they're going to get it. So if you're going to use this thing, I wouldn't use it for more than a small load. And I wouldn't even tell you to do that.
Yeah. I did test his theory on a small load and I washed like 4 towels. Cause if you can imagine, okay, the flood, I had to mop up all of that water with something, right? And a regular mop is not going to do the job with the amount of water that was there. And so all but 4 of our like shower towels that we use is what I used. So, and I have an abundance of towels. So, you know, I keep them for washing the dogs. Just random things. So anyway, I have a lot of towels that are right now sitting in the guest bathroom bathtub that are waiting to be washed. And I don't like having dirty laundry laying around. It just drives me crazy. So I'm totally thankful that we got that phone call this morning.
So we had Simply Shenanigans says, hey, John, Jenna, and chat. Thanks for being here.
Hey.
And we got Stephen J78. Greetings from snowy Knoxville, Tennessee.
Ooh,
I can use some snow.
I want to go to Knoxville. Maybe we should just take a day off tomorrow and just
go to Knoxville.
No.
Oh, okay.
Go to Mount Charleston.
You know what? I stopped wanting to go there since the lodge burned down.
Well, they rebuilt.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought that the lodge was not there anymore. Well,
the
then
heck, there.
Let's go. Urethra says, not only are my sales in the toilet, they done clogged the doggone thing, popping squats in the bush.
Oh, no.
No, that's just a horrible thought.
That's horrible.
John says, John Rad Relic says, my sales are down, but I haven't sourced since last month. Sold a lot of my best items. Yeah, when you sell a lot of your best stock and you don't restock, it's going to be kind of tough. The stuff that's been sitting there sluggish is going to be tough to move. Brenda Smith says, hello, everyone. Homework is done. And tonight I have my grandson Jordan watching with me. Well, awesome. Well, hey,
Blake
Jordan
is here. I saw the
is he?
message. Blake is here, and we have Jordan and Blake.
Okay, so no more talking about biscuits on this one. Urethra says, Lisa, you're such a sweetheart. And Samantha Hunter says, good evening, John and Jenna. Miss Jenna, your hair looks so gorgeous. Keep us early ladies looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I just love it's the new shark something or other, but I just love it. Somebody's here.
Yeah.
Why didn't it pop
So
up?
I got my floodlight camera up now, and it's the FedEx guys here. So the floodlight camera's up. We had a bunch of kids like goofing around by my car out here. Now, I'm not the guy that says, hey, get off my lawn, but it's like, all right, I've had this floodlight camera, decided it's one of those blink ones. It goes with my door camera, and it's great. But every time a car drives by, I get notification. It's kind of unnerving. But we have Flip It Good with us. It's hi, John and Jenna. Thanks for being here. Primo Chemo, aloha, J&J and everyone. Well, thanks for being here, Primo. Nice to see you. Lawrence Trombley says Saturday was my first 0 day in over 2 years. Here's a little mystery. Last Tuesday, I swear to you, I had sales. It wasn't great, but I had some sales. And I was looking at my numbers with Josh the other day, and it's showing I got 0 sales. Like the sales like disappeared. So I went from actually having a couple sales to nothing there. No dollar value at all for Tuesday. Devon Short says, hello. Thanks for being here. Semper Fi in the house. Sales are steady, but I've noticed you can't change anything for shipping after the sale, like size and weight. No, you can't change anything in the listing once the sale happens. So you're stuck. That's why I think it's very important to make sure your weights and dimensions are accurate before you launch it. Now, there's been times we've launched an item, it's sold, we go to weigh it, I always weigh it and measure it again just to make sure I didn't make a mistake, because it happens, and you want to make any adjustments at that time. And sometimes you find a mistake and it's something that, you have to add an extra inch or something, and it causes you to pay more for the label, and it sucks, but it's better than the shipping company like FedEx. They catch it, they're going to hit you with a nice little fee. It's going to be more than what it would have cost you to fix it.
I don't think you've ever been able to change the size or weight after a sale.
No. Duncan, well, thank you for the super chat. I made a mistake. I ordered something from a China seller. They marked it shipped same day. 7 days later, they said they have an issue with the item and had not sent it. Jenny looks lovely today, Jenny.
Well, thank you.
Jenny.
I've been called worse.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's see here. I know that
Where did you go?
I don't know.
Devon.
Well, we have Crafty Girl says, hi, John and Jenna. Dropped in just now, but wanted to tell you that I sold some media Saturday, and then Sunday USPS rates went up, but eBay didn't give me the discount or previous rate that the buyer paid. That's why on Friday I was kind of telling everyone, hey, if you made any sales on Friday or Saturday, then make sure you get those labels run before midnight. I'm not sure if it's Pacific time, but before midnight Saturday night, to take advantage of the calculated rate that you collected from the buyer. Otherwise, those rate changes, once you got to running the label, would have kicked in and cost you a little bit more. Yeah. So it kind of stinks that happened to you. I'm sorry that it did, but I don't know if you were watching us on Friday, but we try to stay ahead of these things to kind of give you a heads up. Let's see. Jovial says, y'all need to sponsor Jenna's new hair thingamajig. Well, that was her Christmas gift, so it's paid for. Don't worry about it. Maya says, hello all. I had an awesome weekend. Friday felt slightly short, but Saturday and Sunday were great. My final count was 15 Poshmark, 3 Mercari, and 8 eBay sales. Awesome.
If I could ever have a 15 sales on Poshmark, that would be amazing.
Hey, it's not going to be due to a lack of inventory. We're going to have a bunch
due to lack of effort either. I
got a large box, not quite the size of a Gaylord, but a large box coming of tactical boots. And these are customer returns. So a lot of them, they bought the wrong size, doesn't fit right, they don't like it, whatever. We've seen a lot of these liquidation shoes, and they're pretty good for the most part. Got 2 boxes of water shoes, and most of them are like Body Glove brand, and the comps on some of those were pretty good. I mean, being that I paid like $27 for a huge box of these, I think after I sell 2 of them, it's going to pay for itself. And a couple boxes like that were full of Columbia and other brands hiking boots. So I think for the 5 boxes, we're into it for about $200. And I had a chance to get more, like some of the women's and men's sneakers. A lot of them were New Balance, but people kind of bid those up. And to be honest with me, I got sniped on this auction at the last minute. So it is what it is. Maya says the post office was off the chain with packages today, so I guess there are some sales to be had. Yeah, and I was talking to my carrier on Friday when he came by. No, not Friday, Thursday when he came by the house, and when I handed him the few packages that I had, and I asked him, I said, "You getting a lot of, is it picking up?" Because he knows he has an idea of how busy it is because he's the one delivering the stuff. And he says, "I'm getting a lot of packages from Timu,
Timu.
Get a lot of those packages." So unfortunately, I think for many of us, we're losing sales to that platform, and it's not good. We need to collectively, as resellers, stay as far away as we can from that or any platform like that that's going to hurt our bottom line. Keep that business on eBay if we can.
Yeah.
Let's see. Guy Guru says my post office was super busy today. No clue why. Returns. I mean, maybe I'm hopeful that it's picking up for people, right? Thrift Shop Hustler says happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday. I'm as motivated and as focused as ever. I mean, the 3 weeks of just duds. I mean, we're probably looking at my last 31 days is at 9,253. Now you might say, well, what are you complaining about? That's mostly tied in from the last week of December. I had a huge last week of December. We're talking the last 3 weeks, it's probably around 5,000-6,000. And for us, that's not where I need to be. I need to be a little bit better than that. So I'm more focused on just doing the things that I can. If that means I'm working later to get more stuff listed and get more stuff done.
I don't know how you could possibly work any later. You already work late as hell.
Well, I maybe not work with as many distractions, get more stuff done.
Turn the football off.
Well, that's hard to do on Sunday. Maya Koyama says, Guide Guru, yeah, I came there with my 2 IKEA bags full and the package drop was full and the counter was also full.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if people are returning things for Christmas that they got that, it's kind of like the last couple of days.
Well, but I thought they had till like the 16th of January to get that in for Christmas.
Don't they
returns.
have like 30 days?
I thought it was 45 days, but I thought the cutoff was like the middle part of January. Glenda says, hi, John and Jenna and all the FAE family. You both are looking simply fabulous. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Glenda.
All right. Stephen J says, the wife fell in the snow the other day. There she was, face down, ass up. I wish I took a picture. Wow.
Kind of like Scott.
I'd love to have some snow right now.
Hey, Scott, we found you.
Oh, yeah.
We found you something that you're going to need or you may not need.
Guide Guru says, I shipped a priority cubic on pirate ship today. Came out to $7 even. Ground Advantage was like 50 cents cheaper cubic. Yeah. And then, so is it worth the extra 50 cents to save an extra day? I still think that sending it priority, if everything is equal, sending it priority is certainly something you want to try to do. Ping G says, I sent an 8x6x4 package weighing 2 pounds to the eBay International Shipping Program in Glendale Heights, Illinois. It was charged cubic rate for it. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I believe they're going to give you, so if you're looking at the priority rate that eBay gives you, because they don't give you cubic, they don't give you, standard, at least from what I've seen, they're going to give you the best priority rate that's available for that package, from what I understand. Oh my
God, Scott fell today.
Oh, geez, he needs it then. Okay.
He says he's moving to Florida.
Todd says, I use a lot of flat rate envelopes. They went up in price 39 cents to 5%. So I don't use any flat rates, but they're still not a whole lot. They're very expensive, I don't think. Simplify, I chatted with customer service and they won't give the difference. And I bet it happened to so many over the weekend. No, they won't give the difference. Maya says, can you use credit card on eBay labels? Well, I don't think so. I think your alternative funding source, which is the credit card on file, is if you don't have available funds in your available balance.
Right, but you can put a credit card on there.
You can put it on your account, sure, but I'm not sure if there's a way that you can tell it to utilize the credit card before they use the balance that you have for the, as you collect the money, eBay's processing it, then they throw it into your available balance. Now, depending on how often you have, if it's daily, then the next day after that, you get that as a payment. But if it's weekly, that'll just accrue until Tuesday when they send it out. And this is going to be a really low payment this week for the crappy week we had. Thrift Shop Hustlers, it's so confusing. It can be, but I think eBay may be just trying to simplify it. Look, they're just going to give you the best priority rate that's available for the package that you've set there. Let's see.
Ping was saying she answered.
To use a credit card for postage, you have to select PayPal, and on PayPal, specify the credit card as a default payment method.
Okay.
Something to look into. I've never tried to do that. I know that some people want to use their credit card for the rewards points. Can really add up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Todd says eBay will take almost any payment method for shipping.
Thank you, Devon.
And Guide Guru says no ground advantage ships quick from here. Almost seems about the same as priority. Does it make you use your balance first? That was my main issue with buying labels on eBay. I want them to all go in my card for the cash back. I know the way to get around that is to just use pirate ship, but just depends on your situation. I know for a fact that's one way to get around it. Parrot Fan says, I lost 4 packages last quarter with the ground advantage, 3 in October alone. They seem to have fixed whatever problem was causing that. I had to give a refund a few days ago for a scale that still hasn't arrived, and they waited long enough. It did show activity on the package like 3 or 4 days prior to me refunding them. I could have had them go in, open an item not received, buy a few extra days. But I just figured, you know what? It was $15. Just give them their money back. Ping says on eBay, to pay for shipping labels, you select either your pending payout or PayPal. Something I have to look into, but I'm not all that. I really don't need to do that myself. Devon says, please hit the like button for that eBay sale. Yes, in 24 hours, you'll get a sale if you hit the like button. Within, but I don't want people to think it's going to happen right away.
Well, it could.
Maya says, oh, that's cool. I may still keep using pirate ship. Not sure. I'll have to check. And Gooch Slayer says, does the post office usually raise prices every year? Remember a couple years ago, the median flat rate was 12, and today I checked, it's 14.38. Yeah, they usually up the rates this time every year. Last year, I don't believe they did it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do know that they were making a lot of changes. And then in the summer, we lost first class mail, and they made it now ground advantage, which I think is a change that really,
it was a really good, really good change.
Yeah. So kudos for them for making that change. And, things have been somewhat positive with the USPS lately. John says, I've gotten feedback for items that never showed delivered.
Well, hopefully it was good feedback.
Yeah. Bearded Picker says, postal rates are going up. I can't keep paying more to everyone. I quit reselling.
He's done.
He's
out.
I always add a little extra into my calculated rates. So I add $1 extra because I know that poly mailer, that tape, that bubble wrap is not free. And I know that, some of the boxes I use aren't free. And I know that we're paying fees on the amount that we charge the buyer for shipping. So I don't feel bad for adding that extra $1 in there. Ping G says the USPS has been raising rates in January for several years now. I believe that's the case. That's my recollection. Beard says, Todd sent me a 1099 for YouTube. And that's another thing. We should be getting a lot of our 1099s here by the end of the month.
Tyler already got one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Rad Relic says USPS raised rates because gas was high. It comes down to they raise rates again. LOL. Yep, they're going to keep raising rates when they need to. Roman says, me and John told USPS to lower the rates for 1 day so that Todd can ship all his packages using the previous rates. Tampa Bay Picker says, let's have a great week all.
Let's have a great week.
And John had to pay the new rates on the 22 packages he sent. We had 10 packages. That's it. 10 packages this weekend.
I thought there were less than that.
No, it was 8 on eBay.
Oh, because we had some on Mercari and some on Bosch.
Henri Squash is kind of bummed today. My main auction house I use closed its doors on Friday. That's
God, that's frightening.
Yeah, I got to go looking for the way to. Now, are you buying stuff to resell, or are you actually maybe moving stuff through the auction house? Curious about that. Roman says we had to call USPS and complain about it. Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
Let's see. We got Fair Fan says, I hate eBay algorithm theories. But that's what we got, right? So I guess we can not talk about it unless it's written. But I suspect a lot of things sometimes. And like the fact that I can come on here and share it with you guys. You guys can either blow that theory out of the water, or maybe there's some credence to it. You know, I really think that eBay does look at your year over year and all that stuff, but how much does that affect your sales? And I think like Josh, he's always telling me that that's his theory, and maybe let's see what happens in February. But I'm ready to get past January and move on to February at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Josh says, keep your head up. It's always darkest before dawn. Yes.
Sure is.
Hey, I'm fine. You know what? There's people that are going to be in worse situations than what I'm in. It's no big deal.
We can just be thankful that we have a roof over our head and that we have a business to run and that we have, each other and our families. And that's really every day I have to remember to count my blessings.
Yes.
Because sometimes the world feels really heavy and we just have to look for the lighter things in life to be thankful for them.
Right. Let's see. Roman says, me and Josh figured out that Canada is actually part of the United States. It could have been based on what happened in 1812? Burning down our White House and all that. What's that about?
Our historian now?
Yes. Rad Relic says, getting so bad people can't even send super chats anymore. No. Hey, it's cool. If we never got another super chat, that's not what we do this for. Yeah. We're happy with the folks that continually come and hang out with us. Yeah. Ferret Fan says, I only believe in one eBay algorithm theory. You have to list it to sell it. Yes. It's just part of the basics, right? That part really hasn't changed. In fact, you can go back into looking at the eBay community boards from many years ago and just check out to see what some of the people were complaining about. A lot of the complaints were very much the same. Now, they didn't have the promoted listings to complain about 5-6 years ago, but my items aren't selling. It's slow. This, that, and that's 5-6 years ago. This is a time where I believe sales was pretty good, but you're going to have that element of people that just aren't happy with the level of sales you're getting. Todd says, good, you're getting a new washer. John is probably tired of washing his undies in the public. No, that was next. No,
I mean, I literally was like, I'm going to have to go to, I don't even know, do we have laundromats here?
Well, in town, but I'm not driving.
I don't know that I would feel safe going to one of those places. So I'm just like, thank God I did laundry the day before it blew up.
And Samantha wants to know, is it computerized? No, we don't even know what it is.
We don't even know what it is, what kind it is. It's all I know it for sure is it's a top loader.
You could have bought it on eBay, like old backstock for all we know. I don't know. We're getting it tomorrow.
She said it'll be a good one.
Let's hope. Grandma Mary's Attic says 1 hour from Houston, close to LA border, south or Louisiana border, southeast.
Okay. Because I'm going to Seguin. I know it sounds like I have to really concentrate on how I say it because it kind of is a weird name, but I'm going to Seguin in the middle of February. So I'm super excited for that.
Todd has a spare room, but you have to sleep on his death pile.
Not the treadmill?
I'd say the only way you're able to sleep here on this death pile is if you list some of it.
Yeah.
Callie Debs, that message was supposed to have been deleted. Hi, John and Jen and everyone. Sorry about that. No problem.
Just giving you a hard time.
We don't take much offense to folks unless they start throwing, F-bombs or calling me idiots and stuff like that. But yeah. Guide Guru says, I read something where someone was checking their bandwidth and their Samsung washing machine was uploading 1 gigabyte a day.
What?
The heck was that? What was going on in that washing machine?
Well, yeah.
Ferret Fan says, I have 2 guest bedrooms but no garage.
Oh.
That would be tough.
That would be.
We have Donald. Thanks for being here. Donald Kratzer says, I won an appeal for return item. The buyer was a scammer. This buyer had ripped off a couple sellers. I reported buyer and got everything resolved. It took a while, but eBay stood by me.
Good to hear that.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
We hear a lot of bad stories about scammers and sellers being discouraged about, even wanting to selling on the platform because this just happened. And I think when you follow through with it, you can see good results like that. So good on you. And I kind of believe that the situation I dealt with, and I think it's about time that I'm gonna make a video about it, just to talk about it. The tire, the meatballs, So yeah, I'm going to make a video about it. I think it's time to tell my story, but I'm going to do that on another video. I don't care. Let him bring the meatballs. I don't care at this point. I'm going to talk about it. This channel is about me talking about the experiences that we deal with, and I'm not going to allow.
Can I be part of that one? Because I have my own.
Sure. So, the future of America can try to harass me all they want, but I'm going to talk about it. The Thrifty Loon says, I'm here. Thanks for being here.
Yay, we're glad you're here.
Jonathan Duran says, just had my first claim open today. Buyer claimed that package was not delivered, even though tracking said delivered. Well, that's easy. They open an item not received. It shows delivered. Just go back in, upload the tracking number again, and then just submit it. Now, some people go as far as even contacting eBay and saying, can you just remove this thing? This is ridiculous. And they have done that for me in the past. But just upload the tracking, and that's good enough. Let's see. Silver Hair says, I hit the like and an offer got declined.
Oh, no.
Well, I never said that you'd get a decline or an acceptance. You're just going to get a sale some way. Jeff says, hi, John and Jenna and folks.
Hello.
Beard says, I got a sale without the thumbs up. That doesn't count, John. Stand by your guarantee, please. You must have taken the thumbs up back. I don't know what's going on there. Duncan says, Jenna, buy Jenna a hot dog for hot dog day. Nah, we're a little bit beyond hot dogs, I think.
I'll take a burger.
Biff Boffalo says, I believe in the eBay growth cap on sales, but I don't believe one bad January in 2023 is going to condemn you to a bad January every year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it just feels like every January, you start off, you want to be positive and strong, and then just January just kind of is like one jab to the left, and
I'm scared of you.
Well, you better be.
So
January hasn't been fun, and I need somewhere to let it all out.
Grandma Mary Zadok says, and I promote organic impressions, 15% promoted, 85%. And yeah, that's just another thing too that just makes me scratch my darn head. Now I know Tommy. I don't know if is he here yet? Probably not even going to be here again.
I haven't seen him.
So I don't know. Maybe I made Tommy mad, but Tommy was kind of trying to explain why we're showing 85% non-promoted impressions, non-search impressions for my promoted listings. And it's like, I don't want and that basically is anytime you get a impression by having your item in someone's listing, or like the person who bought the item that I sold them, they bought it from someone else because the price was cheaper. Those to me seem like cheap impressions. And I would think, or you would think, that you would get more non-top 20 slot impressions by being promoted, by virtue of being promoted, but it's kind of turning out that's not quite the case. So just now I think we're looking at percentages. So maybe it's worth looking at the actual number versus percentages, but I think I'm getting into the weeds here. There's a lot of stuff to think about. And I think a lot of people, including myself, don't 100% understand what's going on with that. And I think
Duncan said my fastest eBay sale sold in 35 seconds.
There you go.
Dang, we need some of those. Get to listing.
Yeah. Beard says, was that John's pickup line going to give you a small load? No, that's not my pickup line, but does it work? Let me know. John Red Relics, buyer a washboard. Yeah, those kind of scrub.
No way.
Jeff Zenix is the laundromat with the novel, the back in the old days. Well, yeah, now it's with, headphones on and just sitting back, and
no,
I'm not interested in that.
No. We have a new person.
Where? Okay.
Find good treasures.
Okay. Mario says Mount Charleston's great to go in the summer, and the winter is just too crowded. Yeah, but a lot of people trying to play in the snow up there.
I wouldn't go up towards the
lodge.
Lodge. It's not a lodge, honey. It's a
Restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
We wouldn't go that way. We would go up to the other side.
Find good treasures. Thanks for being here. And we have Stephen Thompson. Greetings from soggy Henderson. Yeah, it is wet. It is wet.
It is very wet here.
A lot of rain. Probably today and tomorrow. It's going to clear up after tomorrow.
I don't mind though. I don't mind.
Shane's with us. What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing? Thanks for being here, Shane.
Hey, Shane.
Nice to see you. And Average Card Collector says, "What's up, sellers?
What's up?"
Thanks for being here. And Charlie McBride says, "John, everyone is slow. The economy is hitting the skids. I think there's something to it."
I think you are right.
Yeah, this world is nuts. But you know that I'm still going to strive for as much as I can. I think everyone should, be as focused as ever and don't give up. I think it's easy to give up when sales are slow and you're just not getting the results you want. You can just throw your hands up in the air and say, you know what, I give up. I'm gonna do something else, right? But for me, I just get more motivated. Soda City, Shane says, "Hey, Richard, Roman, Lissa, Primo, and John, and everyone else I missed." Well, thanks for being here. We have Jay Smith, 82209. Smith says,
"That's Jordan.
It's me, Jordan." Yes. Thanks for being here, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Awesome. Midwest Picker says, "Good to see you. Love your videos, considering Vendu because of you." Well, awesome.
Oh, cool.
We like Vendu a lot. I
really like Vendu.
I mean, we've had a chance to check out really all the major cross listers, and anytime you can find something that's going to do some of the work for you, then it's worth it. So
yeah, it's so much easier to keep track. I can't even tell you the peace of mind that it brings.
Crafty Girl says, "FYI, I change my weight and size all the time after the sale on the purchase shipping page, on the phone, on the computer. Sorry, I didn't catch Friday's video, but I wish I had." So you could change your weight and dimensions on the label page.
On the label page.
eBay realizes that, I added too many inches to the length or the width, or maybe I weighed it wrong. And it's always a good idea to double check and then go in and fix that before getting the actual quote on the cost of the label. So
yeah, but within the actual listing itself, no, you can't change it.
Samantha says, "I would like to join Mercari's site, but I don't care for the payment process."
I'm not a big fan of Mercari because of the shipping.
Yeah.
Shipping prices are out of this world and it's crazy. That's one reason I don't like to even list on Mercari.
So my problem with Mercari isn't so much the payment processing. I think it's fine. It's what happens with Poshmark, pretty much the same. You don't get the funds until the buyer gets the item. I think that's fine. I mean, eBay doesn't make most sellers go through that. So I think maybe going from what eBay does and allows you to have the money available right away to waiting for the buyer to, give you 5 stars for, everything being okay. But it's just something to get used to. And if you get past that, like for instance, Amazon, you have to wait 2 weeks. And if you're waiting for your first payment, it's going to be a month before you get paid. And Beard can tell you all about that. He sold a 3X.
Yeah. Shout out to the big girls.
Yes. The traveling picker, Pat D says, "Good evening. UPS was crazy busy today, at least hours." That's good to hear.
That's good.
We'll always want to hear good news about maybe we're going to move in the right direction. Resellers are going to get more action and more sales. And sounds like that's happening right now. Kelly says, "Sales are up about 10% this month compared to last January. Better than nothing."
Very true.
I mean, we could have returned back to last January's numbers. That was a hot mess, right? So it isn't that bad yet. Chastity says, "My post office had a lot of packages too. I know some were from other resellers." That's good to hear. Samantha says, "John, I am a crafter who's on Etsy. No success there either. Why doesn't eBay promote the crafters on their platform?" I mean, why don't they promote anything else?
Anything other than eBay Motors.
eBay Motors. I saw watching a podcast on YouTube I normally watch, and they're reading an ad for eBay Motors. It's like, gosh, come on, eBay. But they're not going to change course, apparently. This is kind of if it's eBay Motors or one of their featured categories, they'll promote it. But if it's not, we're just reliant on people remembering eBay or a Google search, seeing that, oh, there's items on eBay that match my search. Guy Guru says it could be because the roads have been bad the last few days. Today it was clear.
Oh, yeah.
I think always Mondays are going to be busier, though. I mean, people have that, especially the resellers, they have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday stuff that they ship out on Monday. Maya says, oh, yeah, John, you have to post the boots on Poshmark if they weigh under 5 pounds. I've sold men's tactical boots, and they always sell on Poshmark because the shipping is lower. Yeah. Yes, but if it weighs over 5, anywhere from 5 to 10, then you have to kick in the difference on the label. Yeah. And they give you the option to do that. But yes, they will be posted on Poshmark. They will be on Posh. Jerry says, John, if I could, I would send you some of my snow. It's heavy, wet, trying to get it off my patio. Hey, but we actually hit 42 degrees today. 42, that's good. It'd be so fun just to go out in the snow for a day. I just want it for a day. You can have it back after a day. It doesn't work. I know. Well, you can have enough for it to melt in one day. Guy Guru says, I just think the economy is bad, y'all. We have had a few companies lay off there this week. I think next jobs report is going to be terrible. Yeah. But it makes you wonder, in an election year, I mean, are they going to really give us the actual numbers, or is it just going to be fudged? I don't know. Go Nuts says, I have the 3% PayPal cashback business card. I use that. There you go. Illinois Picker says, do you offer free returns? And if so, has it gone well, or have you got burned on that? Free returns, rarely. On the smaller things, under £1, we do free returns. But other than that, no. And I think you get mixed reviews. I think the 10% that you gain from being rated as a top-rated plus seller on that listing is worth it collectively as compared to the number of labels you're going to have to pay for. But for me, you know, a 20, 30, 40, 50 pound item with free returns, I don't think that's a good formula at all. I think his name is Illini. That's Illinois. That's like Illinois, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's more like Illinois Picker. I think that's what they call it. Yeah. Richard says, back from Florida after a smooth trip back, except hitting Missouri and delayed getting back home 10 hours. Wow. You must have went to the trash to cash deal. Curious Collection just had another sale. Thumbs up. Yay. There we go. It works. Kelly says the USPS plans to raise prices every 6 months. It's inevitable. Beard says, I unquit. I missed everyone. Mike Gerda says, hello. I had my first under $200 Saturday sale in months. 131 so far. I can only wonder if eBay's 20th month service metrics update is slowing my sales now. Time to find 1,000 percent sales through items. Well, as far as the 20th, everyone gets evaluated on the 20th, and they on the 21st they go in and say, okay, you're either still top rated or you're not, or you're above standard. They are telling me I'm still top rated, so I don't know of any metrics that should be hurting me. Jerry says, I made a whole 7 cents today on my shipping on an item that I sold today, but it's better than losing 7 cents. That's true. Let's see. Barrett Fan says, Illinois Picker, I offer free returns. It instills buyer confidence. I think that's true. I mean, compare that item to someone that's selling the same item with no returns. And what do you think about each one? I think it speaks volumes that, well, to me as a buyer, I'm wondering, what do you have to hide? What are you worried about if you're offering no returns on that item? So I really think that's the case. And I have less returns than I did back when I was new and doing no returns. You get the top rated plus discount with 1 day handling. Yeah, and I do same day. So let's see. Curious Collection says, we were at a flea market today and multiple of our regular vendors said they couldn't give us our normal discount, and another sold us their entire booth. They're done. Sellers getting squeezed. Wow. That's a story I've been hearing a lot, but by the way, a lot of people are just selling everything and getting out of it. Yeah. Illinois Picker says, Ferret, incorporate shipping and price for anything less than priority and do that free also. These postal rate hikes are no joke, but they happen. You just got to build that into the price that you're selling it for. So if you have room, that's why sourcing is so important. Have room to, eat a little bit when USPS jacks up the prices. If you add $1 like I do to your shipping policy, your calculated rates, that does help as well. Bearded Picker says, I think the USPS raised rates to get ready for USPS promoted packaging. I don't know. I mean, who knows why? I think it was time to do it. I don't recall them doing it last summer. I'm not sure if they did it last. No, they didn't change it last summer. We were expecting.
We had a topic where we talked about it.
They actually lowered rates a little bit when they went from first class to Ground Advantage. I remember that, and I was surprised, and they hadn't done anything with the rates. So no surprise they're doing it this time. Ping says, I shipped 4 packages today. I charged calculated commercial rates. No, what's
handling fee?
Oh, no handling fee. All buyers paid the old rates, and even with the new rates, I did not end up paying more than the buyers paid. There you go.
Oh, good.
Samantha says, yeah, but Josh, what if you're in a place where there's no dawn? No dawn. Oh, so
the light comes.
Yes. I don't know. Just got to be optimistic as much as you can. Todd is the optimist, or Josh is the optimist, but then he just found $1 million item. Yeah. But
that is true. Yeah.
But he's not able to sell it for $1 million. I would say he needs to give that thing to an auction house and see what they're going to do. Todd says, I think shipping would be based on your height. The taller you are, the less you should pay.
Oh, then I'm going to.
You must be like 5'2".
Hey.
I'm just guessing. He doesn't show himself on camera. He just shows his hands.
That doesn't mean anything.
I'm just saying. Are you 5'2"? Yes, you are. Jeff Zenick says, sometimes hearing eBay YouTubers.
I am almost 5'3".
I know, but you're 5'2". Not quite 5'3". Jeff Zenick said, sometimes hearing eBay YouTubers talking about unlikely eBay conspiracy stories can be quite hilarious and entertaining and helps to pass the time when working.
Yeah. Like watching the conspiracy theory shows,
It's kind of like, you're at the casino and, anybody here play poker and they're like, you hear someone say, yeah, the jacks are hot. Like, I'm going to play any jack because that's all it seems to be flopping are the jacks. And you're like, okay, yeah, these cards have no memory. And it just kind of makes you crack up. I guess it's kind of like that. Andy Reno's with us in the house, but he's saying this time it's an Indian in the house. We can start now. I'm turning in Indiana. And then we got Jake with us. Says Jay Ride says, hey. Thanks for being here. And then Maya says, Jeff Zenick. Yeah, I wonder if any eBay programmers are watching these videos and what they think. Do they think we're a bunch of conspiracy theory lunatics? I think they watch my channel and
they
go, wow,
know we're lunatics.
This guy is just all over the place.
Yeah.
Gooch Slayer, my sales were slow last week, but they picked up again, but it's very inconsistent. Yes. I agree with that. U.S. Sports Cards, evening all. Hope you had a great week. Hope everyone had a better week than me, that's for sure. Maya says, oh, yeah, I hate conspiracy theories. Personally, like, what if all these eBay issues are just incompetence, but we're spinning our wheels talking about nothing?
Right.
So
Can you imagine?
What's the alternative? Do we just, I guess, keep our conclusions to ourselves? I mean, they call it a hypothesis, right? That's how a lot of good science is done, by looking at the data that we have and forming our own conclusions. And that's kind of what we're doing, whether they're correct or not. I mean, only time will tell, I guess. Samantha says, John, you said you refunded a buyer whose item was received. Do you get the item back or let them keep it for being a problem with delivery? Do you take a claim out with USPS? If the item never shows up, I'll revisit to see what happened to it. If the item never shows up, I'll open a claim with USPS. If it does show up, now I will probably contact eBay and let them know, hey, we gave them a refund, especially if they open an item not received, because I've done it before where, they kind of force you into having a resolution by a certain date, and you're sort of they force your hand to give them a refund. And then you go in after the fact, and not USPS, but eBay will take care of you at that.
And thankfully, the one that he's referring to is just a little bitty, like, kitchen scale.
Little kitchen scale.
Don't say that. It's it's about a pound, and it's not a big deal. It's not like it's a big giant, toilet.
Devon says, my January is better than December. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Maya says, I basically don't talk to one of my cousins anymore after he tried to convince my brother and I to watch the Sandy Hook documentary. Yeah. There's a lot of things that cause people to feel certain ways about things when they happen. But Bearded PokeTuber, my organic, promoted, and non-search impressions are all up between 55 and 65% last month. Versus last month, yeah. Bearded says, watching John read crazy comments is great entertainment. Because, Bearded will just kind of read it and just sit back and go, yeah, I don't know. I don't roll that way. I like to read all the comments if I can. Biff says, I've looked at the impression breakdown extensively with promoted listings for my own store. My actual number of top 20 impressions went down with promoted listings, which was alarming. Of course, non-search exploded upward. But I'm wondering, maybe I should look at it as, forget looking at the percentages, look at the numbers. So if you're top 20 and you're outside of top 20 impressions, the actual number falls if you promote, because they're putting it all in the non-search impressions, not the percentages, but the number falls. Then that's alarming, more alarming to me. The percentage is already alarming as it is, because that's the number we really focus on. But I'm wondering what's happening with those numbers, whether you promote versus not promoting, and not the percentages, just the numbers. Chastity just got the cha-ching, as we want to hear.
She got a ka-ching. Is that a ka-ching?
That's a cha-ching. Well, a ka-ching is a pretty good sale. I made that up. Biff Boffo says the recession has been 6 months away for 18 months now. Eventually it'll be true, I guess. I
don't know what world you're living in.
Well, but the thing is, Biff is selling low ticket items. He's selling a lot of low ticket items. You could call these kind of items impulse buys, where it's like, this $10, this $15. And I'm not knocking you at all, Biff. It works for you. You should keep doing it. But these $10 to $15 items aren't something where people are going to be like, yeah, this is going to affect my ability to pay my rent or whatever. It's sort of like they look at it as maybe this purchase is like buying their next cup of Starbucks, right? I get it. If it's working, you should keep, no matter what I say or anyone else says. If we say something that's kind of contrary to what's going on for you, then just disregard it, Guy Drew says, hey, John, have you tried to run the offsite ads again? I'm staying away. It's given advice to stay away from it. And I'm not going to even touch it until I get word that things are fixed. And really, that's going to be, when that happens, it's going to be the only way to get your items exposure off of eBay, is when eventually eBay eventually gets to the point where offsite ads, they remove the Google exposure with promoted listings. Whenever that happens, then I will take another look at it. But in the meantime, it's a very broken product. It's still in beta, and I'm not interested in being a guinea pig for eBay. Christine says, the news reports the economy is good, but I think the vibes are bad. We've entered a vibe session.
Yeah. If you ever believe anything that comes off of a news channel, you probably should be
when you
just turning off the TV.
And without getting political, because that's the last thing I ever want to do on this channel, because we have people that really feel strongly on both sides, and everyone has their opinion. But whenever you deal with an election year, they always say this one thing: it's the economy, stupid, right? So it's in the incumbents' best in their best interest to make sure that that's the word, right? There's nothing wrong with the economy. Everything's just fine. Yeah, you might pay a little bit more at the grocery store, but you know what? That's just the way life is. Everything is just fine. So if anyone here has gone to the grocery store, and maybe you don't buy groceries, maybe someone else does, and you look around at the prices and you compare them to what you were paying before, it's alarming sometimes when you're looking at certain things. And if you look at your bill, maybe it's in such small increments, it's not noticeable per item, but when you check out, you're going, damn, I didn't get many things at all for what I just paid. Todd says, I do what Scott tells me to do, and what do you know? My sales are on fire for more than a year. And we got Josh, Bama Jaybird Reselling. I swear to God, I always screw that name up, and so it's just going to be the way it is, Josh.
Just call him Jaybird.
Yeah.
Jaybird.
It's the Jaybird part that screws me up.
I know.
So I don't want
You
to. I
did that
don't
on
screw
the
it up.
power hour.
Yes, I did. I do that all the time.
Oh.
Roman says Mercari actually added FedEx now.
Oh, well,
but the rates are still jacked.
But they're still just too high.
They're too high. It's like they're giving full retail rates.
Yeah.
And that's going to push a lot of potential buyers away when they see an item that is like, wow, I would like to have it, but I'm not interested in paying almost the price of the item for shipping or more than the price of the item for shipping. Let's see. MJHW Collector 626 says Mercari just dropped shipping prices. Something I need to go back and look at if that's the case. Then
I'll have to look because as of Friday they didn't, and that was the last time I looked at because I was listing or cross listing.
Yeah. Illinois Picker says negative on Amazon. You can get paid every 24 hours when funds are available. Sometimes I let it build. Sometimes I take it out more frequently depending on need. Well, then they must have changed things on me because when I was selling at a pretty decent clip like 2 years ago on Amazon, it was like they had every 2 weeks they'd send the money to you. And I know that they even had services that you can go in. I don't know the name of the service, but you can sign up for, and they'd front the money on the Amazon deposit, and then they'd get paid. So maybe that's changed. Josh says I was down 78% this January versus last January. As of the 9th of January, I have crawled my way up to minus 4.7%. There you go. Samantha says I need to diversify or diversify my sales. I heard you're doing a yard sale, which I can't attend, but at this rate, I'm good at flea market selling. I'm going to have to do that. Yard sale when they tell us they're going to have it. I mean, we're going to find out probably that week, knowing our luck. Todd says, hell no, the powers are going to prop up the economy any way they can until after November elections. Yeah. And anyone notice that the price of gas is fairly cheap right now?
Miraculously gone down.
Charlie says it would make a good YouTube channel by having eBay sellers come on and talk about their experiences with eBay. I would volunteer to be the first. I lost $1,200. Yeah, you can find yourself in some pretty crappy situations depending on who you're dealing with. If you're following eBay seller protection, that type of thing. But that's why it's so important to make sure you're following all the things that you should be doing. I read so many horror stories on the Facebook groups that people, they don't follow things the right way, and they open themselves up to the wrong buyer who can take advantage of that. Duncan says, I'm back from posting sales. What did I miss? Oh no, someone else paid another item. I should not have hit the like button. You should have. Keep hitting it. That's awesome. Carla Olson, thanks for being here. And Mike says, Richard, tell John about that $1,000 score you made at the yard sale Saturday.
Ooh.
Okay, so Richard was out there in Orlando with you guys. Okay. That's pretty good. Rad Relic says, I do not do free returns. I do offer returns against defects, and we had 30-day returns turned on. You guys can have those customers. I don't want them, LOL. And, you know, I watched another channel, which I won't mention, and they were saying, yeah, I do no returns. And you wouldn't believe the number of people that agreed with that YouTuber saying, yeah, that's a great idea. No returns. And only the people who really have a problem with your item, maybe it arrived broken, are going to open an INAD. It's like, okay, these people haven't dealt with some of these buyers then, if they're saying that. Maya says, LMAO, after seeing all of Crazy New York Drivers videos, eBay motor buyers would scare me out of selling there. It's like there's different types of buyers on the platform. And I learned this when Archie rolled up with a bunch of those military patches and pins and all that. And when we sold those almost exclusively on the second account, I didn't even need to set an immediate payment required because I knew these people were going to pay just the way they were on top of things. They were frequently messaging me, wanting, to know what I had. It's a different level and different type of buyer. And then you get the eBay Motors buyers, and you're right, it is pretty scary watching all the issues that Joe has. Duncan says, how important are low ASP items? I think they are, as these days we need to collect every dollar we can so we can afford to buy hot dogs. So I started thinking about it. What is it about low ASP, and why is it that some people who sell low ASP do just fine and others are struggling mightily? And to me, it's the type of low ASP item that you're selling. So if you're selling things that are in line with what Temu sells, your cheap dollar item. I mean, Temu has just cheap crap. I'm sorry. I've never heard of anyone saying how great the quality is that they get from Temu. But if you're selling that type of item, well, Temu is undercutting you, and therefore the buyers buying that item, a lot of them, I'm not saying all, but a lot of our buyers are going over there buying those low sell-through or low ASP items. I don't even say sell-through, low ASP. Now, if you're someone that sells ephemera, postcards, maybe trading cards, maybe various trinkets that aren't offered on some of these other sites, you might be doing well because you don't have competition from those other, like Temu. I think Sheen or Shine is another one. Rad Relics, I encourage everyone to get out of reselling. Go get a full-time job with benefits. There you go. It's definitely not a good time to quit your job. I'll tell you that much. If you have a job, and let's say you're on the fence and you've really wanted to do this full-time, you have benefits, let's say you can make it work, keep your full-time job and just do this on the side.
Yeah.
Don Lapin says later. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Maya says, I guess you would have to if you sell in that category. I don't know, maybe it isn't that bad when what blows my mind is eBay advertises guaranteed fit so hard and it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to matter, but it does matter in the sense that they're paying for the return label on the guaranteed fit program. Mike Gerda says, I'm now considered average with the items not received requests, 2 out of 1,400. Both items the buyer received and shoes delivered. eBay still penalizes the seller. The buyer opens up a not received case. Well, they haven't come out and said it. If you're a seller from outside the U.S. selling on eBay.com, that's part of their metric that they're punishing the seller for an item not received the same way as they'd be punished for a negative feedback or an item not as described. It's looked at it the same way, but eBay hasn't gone that far yet on U.S. sellers. And I say yet because it's certainly possible. If the buying experience doesn't improve, then they're going to keep doing things to keep weeding sellers off the platform. Larry Way Out says, John and Jenna, happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday. Let's see. Devon's laughing. And so Richard Subnewski says, joining late, found out the hard way of the postal rate increase this morning. Time to raise the cost of my items. Or try to build it into your shipping if you can. Now, of course, if you offer free shipping, you're raising the cost of your items.
No, build it into your price.
Build into the price, right? So
build it into the shipping.
Well, if you can't build it into the shipping, you have to build it into your item. Yeah. So it just depends on how you want to do it. Let's see. Andy is 6'1". His wife is 4'9".
Oh my goodness! And I thought I was short.
Biff says eBay execs probably have YouTube watch parties and they're all having a good laugh on their yachts. Probably because the conversation that I know took place with the person I've been talking to off camera through email has said a lot negative stuff about YouTubers and how most of them don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I think that's sort of the sentiment at eBay, at least when it comes to us YouTubers. Charlie McBride says things should get better in February, but not sure about this summer. Summer is generally slow anyway. I mean, I don't know why for me or for us it was great, but I mean, bring the summer back on for us.
I'll take summer over what this mess is.
Pink says, I bet most people are taller than me at 5 foot.
5 foot. I'm only about a little over 2 inches taller.
Samantha says, John, you got me through the payment management situation. You'll get us through any eBay's black hole. Let's get through this year.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just keep focusing, guys. I mean, to me, the mentality, I don't want to think of it as, okay, I'm going to list my way through it because that's really, in my mind, not the way. But what else can I do? I mean, I'm going to keep listing. If I'm not shipping, I'm back to listing, maintaining my listings, making sure that I've come across a lot of my listings where the title was kind of like not where I want it to be. So adjusting your title, making sure your photos look good. Maybe utilizing tools like Photo Room where you can remove the background. And if you're not a fan of the white background, they have some really cool tools where you can integrate AI. It'll create an AI background. It'll identify what the item is in the photo, and it'll try to come up with different AI backgrounds best suited for it. So that's something to consider as well. I do like the white backgrounds though in those cases. Ferret Fan says we have to still talk about eBay theories. We have to be ever changing, ever improving, but I don't like to dwell on theories or waste time on them. Focus on what you can actually improve and control.
Absolutely.
Right. So the long theory of that I've had is if you incorporate crap into your store, you're going to get worse results because you are now flooding that store that had decent sell-through rate with low sell-through rate. And I think AI has, if this theory is correct, then AI is involved in seeing that you've put all this low sell-through rate stuff in your store, and it's going to adjust accordingly. The fact that I deleted 120 items and had a normal sales day, I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not, but that's what happened for me. And so I'm just going to continue trying to just add good stuff to the main store, and everything that's questionable is going to go to the secondary store. Roman says, I want to be a quarterback for the Cowboys, but they told me they only take quarterbacks with bad vision. Midwest Picker says, if anything, conspiracy theorists have been proved correct often since 2020. Nothing wrong with doing research to form your own opinion. And that's what it is.
I agree 1,000%.
Everyone's going to form their own opinion based on what? I think a lot of it's life experience. If it makes sense, they're going to be more willing to listen, to say, okay, that does make sense. And if their life experience doesn't jive with what they're being told, they're probably not going to believe it.
2020 was a very eye-opening experience, to say the least, for us in this household.
Illinois says there is no recession coming. The market just hit an all-time high again. Yeah. Inflation is dropping and everyone will be fine. Mm-hmm. I 100% hope that you are correct, but based on everything that I've seen, I haven't turned on any channels. I watch a lot of my channels that pop up in my suggested feeds. I'm not hearing economists say what you're saying. I'm hopeful. Look, I want more than anyone for the economy to be perfectly fine and to be on the incline, because that means that we're going to be selling more. We're going to have more people with money. But I keep hearing like the stories where these vendors at flea markets, they're just closing shop. They're selling everything off. You have resellers that are selling everything off. You have businesses that are closing. You have layoffs that are happening. Sports Illustrated getting rid of not all their employees, but they're in a bad way right now. So as long as people are losing jobs and you keep hearing stories about this, that, and the other thing, I'm not all that encouraged. Guy Greer says, yeah, I'm not touching it. Just don't want to fork over the cash. And then Josh says, 6 stocks carry the entire market. All growth stocks are destroyed. And then Bearded Picker says, I feel strongly about both sides. They are both criminal traders. I think
spot on.
I think, yep, whether you're an R or a D and whatever you cheerlead for, both sides are leading us to a bad place. Brenda Smith says, I agree, John. I sell small ticket items. Most I have been collecting for years and using eBay to downsize. I don't believe I will ever go full time. I'm considered the hobby seller. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're comfortable with that. Because see, if you're a hobby seller, you know, you look at your sales on a particular day, week, or month, and if it's lower than normal, you know, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. As someone that's full time and now I'm paycheck to paycheck, and now I'm $200 to $300 short of what I thought I was going to be, that could be kind of tough. Mm-hmm. Illinois says the market is driven by mutual funds and the S&P 500. People just need to live within their means and stop wasteful spending on stuff that is not needed. Live the minimalist lifestyle for a bit. That's good advice for what people are going through right now. I won't dispute that. Junk Trader says that's not the hill they want to die on. Bigger issue than what they pay at the grocery store.
Right.
Yeah. Biff says no politics here. I'm just saying the economic data is not saying recession. I do feel a cloud looming, though. I think vibe session is an apt description, not killing, just maintaining. Yeah. So when do we and how do we get to a place where we are not just maintaining and we're just killing it? That's what we need to. When does that happen? Is it 2 years from now? Is it 3 years, 5 years? Nobody can answer that, but that's me asking out loud because that's where I want it. I want to be. I want to maintain what we have going on without losing any more sales, improve upon it if we can, and get to that place, because I think the folks that persevere are going to benefit when things get better. That's how I look at it. Yeah. David says, evening, folks, 100-mile-an-hour winds here. It ain't blowing any sales in. Wow.
Holy cow.
I think that's in Scotland.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Dang, that's windy.
Guy Grew says, can't you do your own shipping on Mercari? So you have two ways of doing this. You can do free shipping, or you can use Mercari shipping. You can't say, I want to charge, $7.99 for shipping, and then they give you the $10 for the item plus $7.99. You have $17.99, and then you go over to Pirate Ship, spend $7 on the label, right? And then Mercari sends you the $17.99, and then you're out $7 for the label. It doesn't work that way. You're either buying the label through Mercari at whatever rates that they charge, or you're doing free shipping, and then you're going to take your funds and buy that label. But to me, free shipping with Mercari isn't the best formula for what I'm selling.
Maya got her eBay sale. Yay!
Maya says, I really think the main issue for us is a supply and demand issue. Too many sellers and items in the market. Buyers are strapped for cash and have so many options where to buy. And that's where a lot of people, they blame resellers on YouTube for showing everyone who didn't know better, people just tuning into YouTube going, wow, you can make money on eBay. I didn't know that. You go to a yard sale and buy something for $1, flip it for 10, sign me up. And years of that built a seller base. And that's where a lot of people are pissed off at YouTubers because of that. But I think you're right. I think that there's too many sellers, but as the sales start to slow down, it's going to become less and less appealing for those same sellers. And they're probably going to go back to work. And it's going to leave the folks that were able to find a way to make it work remain on the platform. Samantha says, I don't want to empty on eBay. I come from a huge major banking background. I had good management insight, and eBay sucks. You're from a major transportation. You get me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you. I know how exactly the platform that I was working with was, and it did suck. It took many years for them to even develop anything that was worth using. Let's see. Callie says minimum wage for fast food workers is going up to $20 per hour in Los Angeles. That's insane.
That's insane.
But then people want to know, well, technology, you're going to have in a number of years, you're going to have like some of these places where they're going to have the burgers are going to be flipped. The fries are going to be by robots. The technology is already out there. Junk Trader says gas has not gone down here at all. I think was a 3.20 something a gallon here.
I don't know where we went, but we went somewhere and we noticed the gas went down significantly. Yeah. And we're like, what the heck? We're like, oh, well, guess why?
Yeah. Bama says 4 of my small regional shipments were almost $2 cheaper to ship priority than Ground Advantage today. I talked with a local postmaster about it who also resells, and she said the same thing. And I'm willing to bet that's due to the cubic rates that you're dealing with. Maya says, Junk Trader, I tried doing ship on my own, but Mercari changed the search where the thumbnails don't show the free shipping icon. I think it was killing my sales because my items were priced up. Yeah. And that's Mercari is just a little different beast when it comes to pricing. And
I
different kind of customer as well. Yeah. Amazon seller says the powers at B don't have any powers anymore. What are they going to do? Print another $3 trillion. Recent inflation, commercial real estate crash, lower real wages by 15 to 25%. We're in for some pain. Mm-hmm. And see, that's what I'm saying. You have different perspectives. Someone's saying there's not a problem, and then Amazon sellers saying they see a problem. And it's you hear. Unfortunately, you're hearing more of what Amazon seller is saying than you hear what Illini is saying.
Right, but you also have to remember, if you're not looking at the broad spectrum of news outlets, if that's where you're going for your information, you have to remember these media.
Don't get political.
I'm not, but media is going to tell you a narrative, and they have to stick to that.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why we're talking about this is because, unfortunately,
it impacts our business.
Right. The economy is a huge part of either sales booms or downturns. And, we can say it's eBay's fault. I think eBay plays a role in it with all the crap that they've done to us through their software and us being beta testers. But there is something to say about when people just can't afford to buy stuff that they were able to afford a couple of years ago.
I think everybody's seeing it. I don't think anybody needs to be told about it by anyone. You can just go to the grocery store and you're going to know it.
But it's worth discussing. I know that it's sort of the elephant in the room, but it's worth discussing because people are making real life decisions just by watching these shows. Like, oh, maybe I should do reselling, or maybe I should keep my job and just do it part-time. Or maybe I don't even want to be bothered with buying anything right now to resell because it just doesn't seem worth my time. So having these discussions and having a real adult conversation without throwing the R word or the D word around, or this candidate or that candidate. I don't care about all that. I just care about all that. I'm an independent voter. I can tell you that. I don't register for either party. It's been that way for all of my life because I have seen there's certain things I like about one side and there's things I like about the other side. So I'm not committing to either side. And I think both of the sides are part of the problem, or a big part of the problem, because they're all in it together. And that's just the way I look at it. Maya says, so it was making my items look way more expensive than others and they couldn't see it. It was free shipping. That's on Mercari. Yeah. Reef the Sea Forever says, even if you don't do returns, eBay will make you do a return.
That's right.
If the buyer selects the correct option, or not the correct option, but the one option, or
Wait a minute. Did the mailman come?
I don't think so.
Sorry, guys. It says 12 minutes ago.
What?
The mailman.
You're confusing me. I don't see anything. Oh, did that show? Well, why didn't they ring the doorbell?
Why isn't my thing going off? Is what I want.
No, that's not it. Sorry, guys. We just had people walking by. See this stupid flood camera. Don't go by it. They'll ring the doorbell. Okay. You'll get the notification.
Well, I got to make sure.
It's now 4:30 Pacific time.
And the mailman hasn't come yet.
Yeah, and it's about 4:45. We get panicky, right? That means a trip to the post office. So hopefully that's not the case. But Reef the Sea Forever says, even if you don't do returns, eBay will make you do a return. Yes, they will in certain cases. Maya says, Jenna, on Mercari, it usually takes them a few weeks to roll out the new rates to existing listings.
Oh, okay.
Maya's been getting lower offers from buyers, and she explained, I was covering shipping. They were like, oh, I didn't see it was free shipping. Okay. Yeah, buyers do that too. Mm-hmm. Biff says, John, you're correct about your low ASP observation. I'm a low ASP seller, but Temu will never be my competition. Right. So in your case, you don't sell the type of things that they're buying. So they buy from Temu. They get all these great deals in their mind. Well, those are the items they're not buying on eBay anymore. So provided you're not selling that, then that's not your competition. The Temu disc in the earnings call doesn't mean eBay hates low ASP, but it's a big competitor now. And if they're either going to choose to compete with Temu for those items for ad spend, or they're not. And I think, in my opinion, just from what I've seen, it almost feels like they're getting away supporting low ASP because they're kind of throwing in the towel. You have Etsy coming out saying they can't compete with, this is back in November, CEO of Etsy saying that Temu and Shein, that's the proper way to say it, are throwing just money. And this is government-backed companies that are just throwing money at Google. How can you compete with that?
Well, I did just the other night. Okay, so not last night, the night before. I was looking for a I don't know, a dress or something for a wedding that I'm going to. And I put in what I was looking for on Google, and what popped up? All of Temu, nothing else. I had to scroll to the bottom to get away from the Temu. So,
and if you've ever bought from Temu, oh man,
their quality is trash.
Okay, but getting beyond that, you bought from Temu, it's a never-ending just storm of messages from them and emails from them, and we owe you $50. Come in and to get your free $50 worth of stuff, and just all these gimmicky things that they do. They drag, they play with they manipulate people into going in. Okay, free $50, right?
Yeah.
And I guess for some, they enjoy the product, but I can tell you, I've ordered there once just to see. I sent
I also think you ordered things that you shouldn't have been ordering.
Well, but it's free money. Hey, it only cost me $20 at the end of the day, and got all this stuff. Thought I was getting a good deal.
Maybe I should place an order and see.
Well, we've already done that. There's nothing.
No,
I'm not. We're not
stuff.
supporting that company. Not doing.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Mountain Man says, just swinging in. Good topic for sure. Hated seeing media mail jump up when I was shipping orders today. Yes. Thanks for being here. The Thrifty Loon says, Jenna, your hair looks great.
Thank you.
And she did her hair just for you guys. I just want you to know that.
Yes, I did.
Biff says, some also claim that low ASP items cost eBay server storage fees, but eBay pays about 0.033 per gigabyte, so not really a valid argument in 2024. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. You might be right. I don't know anything about that. I can't fact check you. Maya says, John, you'd be surprised. I see an alarming number of resellers doing Temu partnership videos. And that is another thing. I had the opportunity last year. They had offered me, they said that they were offering me, I believe it was like $3,000 to $4,000. They weren't really clear. I think they were going to look at how many views. That's kind of what sponsors do. And it was very, very eye-opening. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it and I'm asking Jenna, I said,
that's when you place the order to see what.
No, this was before that. This is before, I think we placed the order like back in March, April of last year. No, this was right before the Super Bowl. It was like this time last year. And of course, we were struggling with sales. The money looked good. But I looked at Jenna and I said, how does this resonate with any of the viewers? I can see maybe bubble wrap, poly mailers, cross-listing services, things that a viewer is going to want to use. But why would I want to support or prop up a site that's trying their hardest to put eBay sellers out of business? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. So I totally, told them, no, we can't do it. They've tried to hit me up since, but I'm not doing it no matter what.
Nope.
Not selling out. Amazon says eBay goes through cycles of caring and then abandoning us sellers. 15 years ago, they treated us like crap. Many went to Amazon. Then 10 years ago, they started kissing our booties because many left. Yeah.
Yep.
Mountain Man says Temu was relentless a while back, sending email after email and messages on IG trying to get me, I'm sure lots of folks, in on a partnership. They were. And then I looked at it and I'm like, they advertised on the Super Bowl. How much money do they throw at that? Mm-hmm. Millions of dollars. Yeah. Mountain Man Treasure says, though I have been getting a few Temu items for the vintage booth as a filler, and a few have sold in the last month or so. Mm-hmm. Amazon seller says, when eBay loses 20 to 30% of sales because sellers abandon eBay for other options, they will change their tune, I guess about 3 years from now. 2 to 3 years from now, from what I know, or actually what I've been told, is sort of a target date for eBay and having everything where they want it to be. So we'll see. Reef the Sea Forever says, my sales are up 52%. Not sure why everyone else is down. All I can say is stay positive and add good items. Well, for me, I'm up 65, but that just shows you how bad of a year I had last year with the stuff, the type of stuff I was trying to sell. Cimmerian Music said that Angel hat is fire. Well, thank you. We both got one at the stadium like 2 to 3 years ago.
It was a while. It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, so it's a limited one for the stadium.
Yeah.
Guy Guru says, I had a competitor ask me if his was authentic. told them no. Am I an a-hole for doing that?
What was authentic?
I don't know.
I had a competitor.
His hat?
Oh, his something. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We all want authentic stuff. Amazon still eBay is overall.
No, you're not an a-hole.
No, still eBay is overall the best platform for one-off and used items. I believe so, but that's where eBay has gone wrong. Instead of, coming out and promoting eBay Motors and all these featured categories, why don't you just put the rest of us in one commercial and say, look, if you can't, they did this before. If you can't find it anywhere, look at eBay. Or how about look at eBay first? Whatever you're looking for, check eBay because chances are they're going to have it.
Yep.
Reef the Sea Forever says, I even had one return where the buyer shipped the item back and on her dime and then gave me a great positive feedback. No issues here.
Yeah,
some people will. And some people will actually even avoid eBay's system and they'll pay full retail. I've had that happen. It's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
John Gaynor says, hi, Jen and John. Thanks to all our customers who are lazy and shop on eBay. Everyone loves to get something delivered to their front door so they have more time to get ready for the Super Bowl. Yep. Charlie says, my car and home and insurance is up 20% this year with no claims, only 5% inflation. And some people are reporting that they're not even insurable anymore and their insurance is dropping.
Ping got kicked off. I don't remember what company. Maybe she says it in the chat, but her car insurance just dropped her because she lives in California.
So Maya says, hey, could anyone suggest me some options to where I buy the lowest price cardboard boxes? I need some for UPS SurePost on Mercari, and the dimension limits are 12 by 10 by 5. I use Uline. That's what we use, but we pay a pretty penny for shipping. But at the end of the day, it works out to be like $1 something a box, so it's not too bad.
She says, I don't ship anything fragile, just clothing and shoes.
I mean,
so
polymailers
are work just as good.
Yeah, check out GyroPack. We have the link down below. Off your first order, save 10%, and they sell a lot of polymailers, and they
are the best in my opinion.
Biff says old-fashioned print media will die no matter what the economy does. SI, just the latest casualty. This has been going on for years now. Green Door Investment says it is to a recession. If you look at the modified numbers, they always put out one version and then they change it to a month or two later so it doesn't hit the headlines.
Yep.
Even like that thing with unemployment, right? They did something like, for instance, I am not considered unemployed anymore. I've never collected any unemployment. So, I mean, she did through railroad retirement, but once those benefits were done, she has fallen off the face of the earth.
I'm off the radar.
And they don't count her anymore. She's like, she doesn't exist.
Yep.
Junk Trader, my homeowners and auto insurance went up with no claims, $15 a month increase. Yeah.
That's terrible.
That is what is happening here.
Has our rates gone up?
Probably. I just didn't notice them. Maya says, I was shocked. Neither my home or auto insurance went up this year. In my area was extremely high car theft.
Wow.
Junk Traders, I'm going for my own personal information. My whole life is costing more. They changed our health insurance, cut approved chiropractic visits. I don't need to hear news.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're living
Absolutely.
when you're living it, you don't need anyone to tell you otherwise.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is people can see it. It's in your face, whether it's at the grocery store or on your insurance bills. It's there.
I guess Maya says try Erie. That must be an insurance company. A lot of people in my city complained about auto insurance increases due to the Kia Boys, but mine didn't go up.
Kia Boys?
Kia Boys.
I think it's because everybody was stealing
the Kias?
Stealing the Kias.
Okay. Guy Guru uses AAA. P&G used Farmers Insurance canceled my car insurance, and I assumed the homeowners would soon be canceled. Then they said they could still cover me, but for more money. Of course. We use Geico. Geico is probably the best out here in Vegas. Thing with Vegas, car insurance
is crazy.
It's crazy. It's higher than California, and it's because of like all the drunk drivers out here. People come out to Vegas and they get drunk and they think it's okay to drive, and a lot of accidents from that.
And a lot of homeless people get hurt.
Maya says, I also had a sewer line incident a couple years ago, and the bill was $5,000. Erie covered it. Okay, well, that's pretty good.
Erie. That's like Erie, PA.
Yeah. Critical Mass says free returns is the only way to go. People don't want to return stuff. They want to keep it. If you set up no returns, you're just opening yourself for an INAD. You trust in a return. So I wouldn't trust in a return seller. I move on to the next item.
Yep.
Charlie says, if eBay is laughing at YouTubers and what they say is because eBay doesn't tell us the way it really is. Yes. And the thing is, that's the position that eBay puts us in.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim that they communicate with us just fine through their different monthly events. I ended up receiving a bunch of emails from eBay asking me if I wanted to attend some events that they have coming up here. Don't know if you guys have received that, but it's like, if we go, are they going to tell us anything? Probably not. Let's see. Jovi says, insurance, don't know if it's true. I heard if you call your insurance agents and ask them to run a credit check, if you have a good credit score, they may lower your premium. Interesting. Maya says, yeah, it depends on your situation and what vehicle you drive. Probably, but from what you're telling me about your car, you should get a good rate. My car usually has higher rates than every company, with every company.
Yeah.
Benny's with us today. Says in the Q&A part of the Q3 earnings call, stated to one of the shareholders that eBay's focus will be on high ROI and low ASP items do not fit that plan. And I think, again, wouldn't be surprised if that statement has a lot to do with their competitors, Temu, and like, okay, we can't compete, so let's focus more of our resources and ad spend on the higher ASP stuff that's not being sold on those platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Biff says, I will never buy from Temu. I try not to buy something made in China, but some things are impossible. I mean, look around your house. I'm sure 75% of the things you have a made in China, right? But
well, there was a meme. I don't know if it was on Instagram or whatever, but they said, if you were to take out everything that was made in China in your house, would you be left with anything? Most people wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Josh Galt says eBay's motto is 2 to 3 years from now. And that's just what I was told. And, right now is from the sentiment that I'm receiving is right now, this year is going to be just wonky. And it has been wonky so far. I'm hoping that it's not. But, I have conversations outside of this channel, and they've been very, very accurate so far. And I have no reason to believe that they're pulling the wool over my eyes. I really feel like things are going to improve on the platform, but it's going to take a while. Guy Greer says there is a site called Shadow Stats that posts the unemployment numbers based on the 80s metrics. That's interesting. Maya says, Ping G, I think there is a Granger's 25 minutes for me. I heard some people mentioning them. I have to check them out. Granger's? I don't know what that is.
Isn't that barbecues?
I don't think they're talking about barbecues.
No, I don't.
Ron Sanders says, I know you cannot sell expired diabetic test strips. I see some sellers selling 2 to 3 boxes that are not expired, along with about 8 that are expired and counting the strips. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess you can sell anything you want on eBay until you're found out. Friend of mine, which I won't, sold a P90X set, which you shouldn't do because you're going to get hits just slam with a Vero most cases. He sold it and hadn't heard from eBay at all and got paid and transaction went well. Jovial Juggler, now is the perfect time for eBay to promote to the younger generations with rap, hip hop music celebrating 50 years. Incorporate the two with the vintage, retro, etc. commercial win-win. Or like what Pete said in the Power Hour, said get someone like Billie Eilish and make a commercial and just get the younger generation thinking that, oh, wow, I didn't know about eBay. And that, I think, would do great, right? Lucky Fine says, hello, if an item gets damaged during shipment through Ground Advantage, what would be the right step to take? Have the buyer take photos, send them to you, and then go and file a claim on USPS.com that there's now, they might say if it's something that could be damaged, you probably should have shipped it with good padding. So hopefully you did that with the box and not a poly mailer.
Mailman hasn't come. It's 10 till 5.
Uh-oh.
Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So Jenna's going to sign off.
Love you guys.
I'm going to be here for a few more minutes with you guys. Jovial says, is Bearded Picker going live tonight? I don't think he is. If Beard, if you're with us, let us know. I think he only does that on Friday. Maya says, Guy Grew, they don't want the liability if someone has DKA or hypoglycemia because of a faulty strip they buy on eBay. I think that's correct. Junk Trader says, however, I do have 3 adult kiddos on their own, paying their own bills. So that's a win, but none of them own their own homes, all renters. And I think that's, someone said something, you will own nothing and you will be happy. I think that was a saying that went around. Christine Anderson, did eBay define what price they considered low ASP? No, they didn't. They didn't. And again, it's one of those things where we're sort of left to our own devices. You know, you listen to a Q3 conference call, you know, you pick up different things that are said from eBay representatives on different chats, and you kind of put one and one together to form that conclusion. And then you see what's happening with those items. It just makes sense. Guy Grew says, I also have been hit with a Vero many months after a sale before, but that one didn't get hit at all. That was months ago he sold that set. Let's see. The box got smashed. Okay. Well, definitely open a claim through USPS. I received my check. I have my, it was weird. It's a check from, and I'll dox myself here if I'm not careful, but it's a check from FedEx for $103. And the claim was for $79.99, the cost of the item. So go figure on that. Beer was napping, but I take it he's not going live. But he'll do that on Friday. Devon Short says, you guys have a great evening. And that's where we're going to kind of leave it. I think we're at the end of chat anyway. Great conversation. Again, I don't want to get too close to being, there's that fine line of, you talk about religion, you talk about politics. It really starts to push people away, and that's not the purpose of this program. It's just looking at, you know, is the cloud, is the sky blue or is it cloudy? Is the grass green or is it getting brown? It's looking at stuff that we're all dealing with and just trying to come to a conclusion. And that's kind of what we're talking about when it comes to the economy. And that economy affects each and every one of us. Even if you're doing okay, you could be doing great if the economy was great. And that's kind of why I bring it up, not to get anyone riled up or anything like that. But, you know, figuring all this out, you know, how it affects your business with the rates that are happening, cubic shipping rates is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent start to your week. Let's get some sales. Let's turn this thing around, collectively out, and just take care, everyone. And we will talk to you guys very soon.